Good morning, everyone. Today we're gonna have a live stream that's gonna be very silent because I don't know what. There seems to be an issue with the music that I was putting on my live stream. So until I'm gonna fix that, and I honestly don't know when that's gonna be. There's just gonna be no music on the live streams, just so you guys know. So yeah, you're just gonna be hearing my voice, my beautiful voice. So good morning, everyone. June 10th. June 10th. Let's see, what are we looking at in here? Gold. Gold's doing quite some movements, isn't it? There seems to be some buy side a little higher, but we'll see whether it's gonna go for that. Because for now there's a very interesting SMT that's going on over here, and yeah, I guess you can see that. Okay, so let's just mark that. Sort of like. And also, there's a 30-minute bearish fair value gap that it reached into. I think this is from Friday, if I'm not wrong, June 6th. Yeah, so it's from Friday, and that was at 9:30, Friday, 9:30 a.m. But we'll see. And this is the 1 hour fair value gap that it went to yesterday. For those of you who don't know, yesterday's live stream trade ended up in a small loss. I've already posted that on my IG page. So as usual, I'm just gonna start by marking all the buy side liquidities, all the SMTs, SMT buy side, SMT sell side, all the flip zones, which for those of you who don't know what a flip zone is, to me, it's basically just like a support that turned into a resistance, or a resistance that turned into a support. Yeah. To be honest with you, but like this week's price action has been quite confusing to me. I'm not necessarily a fan of whatever it is that's going on lately, but whatever. So, a lot of movement on gold, right? Bullish. Breaking above Asia high, consolidating, going higher, retesting, going higher. And at the same time, I'm not seeing silver doing that. Silver has just been, standing still inside Asia range. So yeah, I guess it's just gonna be the usual thing for me, guys. Just keeping my bias neutral for now. And I'm only gonna engage in a trade if I'm gonna see fair value gap plus SMT, or SMT plus fair value gap. So for now, I do see this SMT here, but I'm not sure it's Still gonna be confirmed by a fair value gap. Oh God. So guys, don't forget that you can use code RBV Forex on blueberryfunded.com to get 20% off any challenge, which honestly, it's really awesome because you could get a $100,000 account for just $400, which is very good. It's really, really good. It's a good offer. It's a good discount that they're offering for us, so why not take advantage of it? Okay. So what am I waiting for? So basically what I'm waiting for is there's many things that could happen. Many things that could happen. Okay, so first I want to see how this whole Asia session and London session, how they've developed today. So there is an SMT at Asia session low. Definitely. With this area here. Okay, so sell side liquidity here and here for gold. Do you guys need me to speak louder? Because I can speak louder. I have no idea if the volume is okay. So if you guys need me to speak louder, just please let me know, because I have no idea how you can hear me. It's the downside of live streaming without doing any tests prior to that. If you guys remember, during yesterday's live stream, by the way, I know exactly what I did wrong with yesterday's trade, but never mind now. So you saw that, or at least you can remember that I was mentioning about that buy side here and this sell side here. And I really wanted to see either one of those areas being swept by either of the two pairs. Obviously silver did that. It took out the buy side, and then I've only took the short based on an inversion fair value gap that occurred around here. Not my smartest decision, because I've also yesterday mentioned that there was that 1 hour fair value gap that it might want to rebalance, and it actually had a very good long entry confirmation that I completely ignored at the time. Where we had this SMT and then the bullish fair value gap there, and then the rejection off of the bullish fair value gap, where during yesterday's stream I specifically said that I wouldn't want to see gold reject from this fair value gap, and if I'm going to see that it rejects from there, I'm considering closing half of my trade, but I didn't do that, but whatever. So I've ended up with almost half percentage in loss. Not a big deal, because the loss was quite minor. But what I wanted to highlight is the fact that I want you to pay attention to how it respects these SMT areas or how it hunts these SMTs areas because wherever the SMT is, that's where the actual liquidity is. So it went for the buy side here, then it sort of like took advantage of that, right, to rebalance the 1 hour fair value gap as well. And then eventually it started to move down towards the sell side that it had accumulated here, and also at the same time rebalancing this VISI that it had created there, which I also had that marked on my chart. And then I wanted to take a look at how after that it started to build on the liquidity, and then it just started taking off, because once the liquidity was purged from there, from that SMT area, obviously, if it's just not going to show like a clear willingness to continue to move lower, then most likely it's just going to use it to reverse. And it was really interesting because also it had moved away from this area here, from that fair value gap with another SMT. So again, there has been, I'm just going to mark that so that you can all see it, how extended this push on silver was right there. See? Around 1 p.m. to around 2:30 p.m. New York time. So silver really just, being brave, whereas gold was actually not doing the same thing. Okay, so definitely once we had a break under here, I would say this area on gold, that's basically where it was sort of like confirmed that it's going to want to attack the sell side over there. And why this low over here? Simply because it's just the lowest low between the two highs that are divergent. So to me, that is the most accurate definition that I could ever find for a bearish breaker, right? The lowest low between two highs that are divergent. So if I'm going to zoom out, zoom in a bit in here, it just broke that over here with fair value gap, and then just moving away from there. Obviously, the fact that I'm just doing this in hindsight also helps a lot, but it doesn't make it less powerful. Okay, so let's see. No, I don't know why, but I'm quite sleepy. I'm like a sleepy head. So we still have this area of buy side, which has not been tapped by silver, which gold already did that. Honestly, it looks very familiar. To me, whatever's going on here with this range from the high to the low, price going above the high, it looks very familiar to creating this range from the high to the low, going above the high, and then coming for the low. So I would dare to say that if we're just seeing like a bigger ripple of the same type of price action that we saw yesterday, I would dare to say that I would love to see gold starting to build a bearish setup and reach for the sell side over there. I'm not saying it's going to happen, okay, because you know what my opinion about predicting is. But I'd be really happy to see it do that. It would just make a lot of sense. Okay, it seems that there has also been a lot of accumulation here. Pum, 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 pum. Wow, okay. Okay, so this price actions starting from around 12:30, I'd say 12:30 midnight New York, all the way to around 3:30, 3:20 a.m. New York. Very divergent from gold to silver. So obviously, I'm just going to mark that as SMT sell side on both pairs. Okay, guys. So yeah, if you have questions, just don't hesitate to ask. Okay. Oh my god, I feel so sleepy. It would also be nice. Yeah, it would also be nice to see gold sweep this area here and then go for longs. So either I'm gonna see a bearish fair value gap that's gonna confirm this current SMT here, and then a rebalance of that and a reject to go for at least the sell side over here. Of course, that would also depend a lot on whether I'm going to get a good risk reward ratio or not. At least 1 to 2 is what I generally aim for. And depending on how or what's going to do here once it reaches that area, it might continue to move lower for Asia low, which is right there. Now this looks like a very nice market maker sell model. So I'd take this as the original consolidation and therefore our drawn liquidity. But yeah, just have to wait for a confirmation. And what I've noticed lately is that usually gold, especially during the weeks with during CPI weeks, it's gonna start to move. It's basically just gonna create the range of the day. It's gonna start to do that very late during the PM session. So I don't usually trade the PM session, because if I would trade PM session starting from, I don't know, I think it's, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, starting from 2 p.m. or something like that, New York time, then it means that I'm just gonna stay awake late, because 2 p.m. New York, it's 9 p.m. here where I'm at, and I just do my best to get ready to go to rest around that time. So yeah, you can imagine that it's not such a good thing for me. But yeah. Also, you guys, just look at the entire London session. Like, it's not London session. Sorry. Look at how currently the New York session has been developing. The New York Eurozone starting from around 7 a.m. It's so flat on silver, and it's just creating a lot of waves on gold, but silver is really flat. Like, I don't know. Yeah, so that's what I'll do. I'll just wait as usual. There's just not much to do at this point. Someone asking, how do I see the lazy silver price action today reflecting on gold? Definitely laziness on silver or on either of the two pairs means accumulation on both pairs. So the fact that I'm seeing that silver is this lazy is there's definitely a lot of orders being accumulated, which adds up, honestly, it really adds up to the idea for me that, I mean, just look at it, okay, from the following perspective. Starting from 12 midnight, silver has been nothing but lazy, okay, like, honestly, crappy price action. However, gold, starting from 12 midnight New York, it's been really brave, right? Which again, if I put this into the perspective of, well, gold, silver is definitely accumulating because lazy price action or choppy price action or basically just price action that is generally consolidating, that's what it actually means. Accumulation of orders. Then this would basically add up onto the idea that for the whole time of the London kill zone plus whatever is going on right now, gold is also accumulating. So if this would be the accumulation phase, or in other words, the market maker sell model, the buy side of the curve, it would just make a lot of sense to expect for the sell side of the curve to start to develop. But like I said, I've seen lately that just gold starts to do that quite late during the day, which is not really something that I am happy with at all. So just to give you guys a little bit of context here. Market maker model. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the picture. No, you can't. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to bring the picture here to see if I can do that or not. Okay, so here it is. Hope you guys can see it. So basically what I'm saying, okay, is the fact that I'll show you now, is the fact that this area over here is the original consolidation. All right, and then it starts to move into an expansion, consolidating, expanding again, and then a smart money reversal. So basically a new expansion into a higher time frame media rate, in this case, again, into the 1 hour fair value gap, into the 30 minutes fair value gap. And then the smart money reversal, which to me, the definition of smart money reversal is always containing of SMT divergence, always. So I would just interpret this as sweeping buy side. And now I'm just waiting for a bearish fair value gap, you know? And the rebalance of that fair value gap would basically be the low risk sell, low risk entry, whatever ICT calls it. Not low risk as in risking very little, but more like there's a low risk of your stop loss being hit. That's the way I interpret it. And I'm just selling. My stop loss is gonna go above that high over here. My position got filled at 33.44.18. 33.44.18. 44. I'm just gonna leave it as it is, sort of. Okay, it might reprice back into this fair value gap, and if it does that, it's just gonna be very good. So aiming for at least 1 to 2. So I'm risking 1% in here.
This is a reminder. Awareness.
My Alexa reminding me awareness. If you guys don't have an Alexa, you should definitely get yourself an Alexa. Going nice so far. $700 in profit for now. 500 now. 700 again. Whatever. What I would not want to see at this point would be silver rejecting after sweeping these or this smooth area. I would definitely not want it to reject from there, honestly. Because this whole area here is basically here. And I want silver to continue melting so that it makes sense for gold to just do the same thing. 1 hour so far. I'm not necessarily considering putting stop loss at break even, honestly. I just won't. I'm just gonna leave it room to keep on developing. I also want to keep an eye at the same time on whatever's going on the slightly higher time frames, because this was an entry that I did take on the 1 minute. I'm also seeing this whole area here from the perspective of the bodies of the candles to be very like smooth. So let's just mark that down, sort of like smooth. And it somehow also overlaps with that buy side liquidity flip zone. It would make a lot of sense right now for the the momentum to increase because of the hour of the day, right? How to use inverted fair value gaps for entry? I just how do I use inverted fair value? I just wait for a fair value gap to be inverted and then act upon that, but never in the absence of an SMT. But what I've noticed is that inversion fair value gaps are not as good / accurate as just normal fair value gaps. Did you use the 1 minute strategy for that entry or the inversion? No, not the M1 no, simply just I didn't wait for a 5 minute fair value gap to confirm the SMT. I've simply just acted on the basis of a fair value gap on the 1 minute, but still SMT plus fair value gap. Oh my god, the crow is back again, guys. You remember that yesterday I was telling you that there's a crow that keeps coming on my balcony? She's back. Weird. I'm sure it's the same bird every day. I'm sure it's the same one. Also, it wouldn't be quite a good thing, not in my advantage, to see silver sweep this area and then starts to reject, because then that could be a reason for gold to reject as well and take me out. And I don't want it to do that, obviously. So you see, and maybe you're wondering. By the way, did you see my crown? I'm like the queen of gold. Anyway, maybe you're asking where would gold reject from? So silver taking that SMT sell side and gold rejecting from where? Don't forget it's still inside that 1 hour fair value gap from yesterday. And if you have no idea what fair value gap I'm talking about, this is the one. Here it is, the 1 hour FVG, that guy. And the red lines are a 30-minute FVG. You know, I've heard, I don't know if you guys know who Jesse Rogers, I think that's his name. Jesse Rogers. I think so. Oh, geez. Wait. Because me talking about a Forex influencer, it's just me missing out on my take profit. So I didn't set a take profit, okay? But I'm just gonna get ready to take 90% off my trade, which is gonna be I need to plug my laptop. So now it's that's a thing, right? But I'm thinking if it wanted to use the equal lows and to go further higher, it just would have left by now. Oh, Jesus. What should I do? What would you guys do? Because it missed my TP by a fraction. But is it missed actually, or is it just doing this? Yeah. Someone asking in the chat, are you Alex Lara? You're looking different, and after a long time I'm watching. Yeah, I'm Alex Lara. Well, people do change, don't they? So I'm starting to question myself whether I should have taken whether I should have taken profit once it reached there, because I did mark that as my drawn liquidity and it did reach there. And maybe my stop loss would have been better put above the fair value gap here and not above the high, because if that would have been the case, then I would have had more than 2R by now. But yeah. Decisions. And this is what this is. Women high. You know, it's really funny how it's really funny to just observe your thoughts and see how your mind is gonna try to find 1,000 reasons to get out of the trade, to not take the trade, to not take profit, to, you know, sometimes it's really overwhelming. I don't know if it feels the same for you guys, but to me, sometimes it's really overwhelming. Is it the same for everyone? I think it's the same for everyone, isn't it? I mean, I want to say I hope it's the same for everyone, although it would mean that I'm such an asshole to say this, because I really don't want, you know, others to feel the same. But oh my God. Okay, what's the 5 minute doing? Expansion, equilibrium, expansion down into 33.24. That would be nice. Just like I said, 1,000 reasons that my mind is trying to give me for which I should get out of the trade. And you know, I used to have a thing that I would do my best to guide my decisions based on that. If you're trying to make money, and if you're in a rush to make money, then take it slow. Be slow in taking that decision of, you know, making money, because it could be an impulsive move out of the rush to make money. And if you're actually thinking that it could protect your capital, then act fast. So right now I'm thinking, is my mind telling me, oh, you know, you should at least secure stop loss at break even? Is it telling me this because it's trying to protect my capital, you know, the profit that I'm in from this current trade? Or is it saying that because it just wants to scoop this $1,300 that I'm in profit right now and, just rush to make the profit. I don't know. Feels the same for you guys as well. So someone says in the chat, yeah, it feels the same to me too. Just always trying to find reasons why it should continue in my favor. Yeah, me too. But then there's like a battlefield with the mind, because I'm trying to find reasons why it would continue to move in my favor and thus just following my plan. And then there's the mind, which is also mine, my mind, finding a lot of reasons for which it wouldn't continue in my favor. Like, for example, on this thing right now in here, where, I have this range from the low to the high, internal range liquidity, equal lows, swept, fair value gap, and it could reject and move up from here. Okay, we'll see. All right. Nice. Okay, just took out 90% from my trade. Right now I'm just securing stop loss at break even for a minor 0.2 standard lots. Good. So 2% today, almost 2%. $1,837.80 plus a runner of 0.2. So 2 micro lots, which is currently at $200 in profit. But I'm willing to give it a try. Maybe it's just gonna continue to develop as part of the market maker sell model. So I'm just gonna keep this. That's gonna be the first area of take profit for the runner, and then all the way down here, Asia low. I'm not sure if it's gonna get there, but it would be a nice runner. But for now, so I'm just happy with whatever I did here. Yeah, you guys, the mind is such a battlefield. Like, oh my God. Such a battlefield. I would assume that this to be a bearish order block. Even though I'm not that good at identifying bearish order blocks, whatever, but Anyway, not this way, but it looks as a bearish order block, I guess. I don't know. All right. So guys, I have a rule. Oh, 36 people watching the live stream. Let me refresh the page. 36 people watching the live stream, only 19 likes. Please give a thumbs up to my live stream. Yay. Or not. If you don't like it, don't. All right, so how much was that? I think that was 100 pips or so. Yeah, 100-ish. So, you know what, guys? I'm just going to call it a day. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it a day. Make sure to give a thumbs up to the live stream. If you guys have any questions, you can ask them in the comment section of the video. And yeah, thanks for being here again. This was a short live stream. Like, how long have I been live streaming? For like 52 minutes, so less than an hour, as opposed to yesterday when it was like 2 hours, I think. And yeah, the days are very different. Okay, guys, talk to you tomorrow. Bye.